ladies, it's me, Karina. So today I'm actually going to talk about the number one mistake that I see ladies do when it comes to their man. Now this is typically when they are in a relationship or when they are even actually during the beginning dating stages with their man. And this actually unfortunately adds to an unfair power balance, which is not in your favor. And again, if you know anything about me and this channel, it's all about making you the best version of yourself and talking about topics that most people don't really talk about, such as, of course, anything related to us females, but mostly I like to focus on money, finances, how to get power, anything that can really uplift you into a better version of yourself. And I definitely think this is one of the most important things because I see this mistake being made very, very frequently. One of the times that it actually happens more often than not is when the relationship doesn't have a fair power balance. And that usually comes when a female of lower status or of lower financial kind of affluence comes into a male of higher status who is earning substantially more than them. However, this doesn't just apply to that. This also applies to your general relationship. And if you are in any of those, this is not the mistake you should be making, and I'll elaborate why. So this is the mistake, and the mistake is just hanging around. Sounds cryptic, sounds like it doesn't really make sense, but let's break it down, okay? Hanging around in all shapes, okay? I see this so much. This schedule sometimes, a lot of the time, tends to go towards the male side, right? If a male has a business trip, hey honey, why don't you come on this business trip? You have work, take work off, whatever, right? And if you are with an affluent man who supports you, or even with a man who isn't extremely wealthy, but he is doing everything in his power and wants you to kind of have a better life to help you out financially and in your career goals, then that is amazing. Either way, if it is an affluent man or if it is a man who is just kind of your general average income male, I believe that a male should want to uplift his woman and help her, whether it is financially and also career-wise if he is educated in that kind of environment. The big mistakes that women do is they tend to settle or go after or just accept male that don't see her as an intellectual equal. That might sound a little bit harsh, and perhaps the male isn't even thinking of it in that way, but that's just kind of how it comes across. And if you just analyze it, that's what it seems like, right? So it's okay for her to take days off of work to go on a vacation or to go on a business trip, and that's fine. But a lot of the time the man won't compensate the female for that, right? It's just take time off just because I want to spend time with you. And this is kind of the man you should not be going after. If you have a man who is supportive of you and supportive of your finances, as it should be, then yeah, take your whole life off if he can financially support you. However, if he is halting your career for a few fun exchanges of trips, that is completely unacceptable, because in reality, what he really is doing is just finding entertainment for himself. That's plain it. Even if he completely compensates the trip, which of course he should, as a man, should never split a vacation, that doesn't even make sense, that's still not a benefit to you. That is still benefiting the man. Okay, so you get a trip somewhere, whoop-de-doo, you could have gotten that trip yourself. And even if you couldn't, your time is your most valuable and precious kind of aspect of your life. And if you are taking time away from your passions and away from your careers for a few fun trips, that doesn't become worth it for you in the long run, because you want to be a strong, powerful woman, hopefully, right? In any way, shape, or form. And if you are sacrificing your career or taking things on the side just to go on a few fun adventures, and also to make this worse, if the man doesn't see a future with you, nor does he want to support you financially, then what benefit are you getting out of it other than entertainment, kind of a fun adventure? Because the reason why the male is doing that is for his own benefit. That's just how sometimes it plays out. They want a trip, not because, you know, they want to even make you feel good, which of course that comes with the benefits, but for the most part it is so they have a partner to travel with, so they have a wonderful, beautiful woman they can show off to the environment, so they can have a good time, relax away from work, or have entertainment on a business trip. And if you frequently find yourself saying no to your own life just to enjoy these tiny little benefits, then you might not be doing the right thing. If your man, on the other hand, does want to spoil you, of course, and then you go on these fun, amazing vacations, he should be trying to push your career forward, or trying to kind of make it on even grounds with you, that he's understanding that this could potentially be influencing your future in a negative way, and try to help you out. Whether it's, hey, let's do something that can help your career in the ways that I can. Of course, this is not all set in stone, and I'm not saying don't go on any trips. I just want you to realize something, especially in the dating world, especially with uneven power balances, when the male is either older or perhaps is earning a substantial amount. It is highly probable that he is doing this with you because he wants entertainment. And then what's going to happen when the relationship is over and he continues to advance his career and become more affluent, while all you did was just have a fun little time on a few field trips, but you put your career on the side, or you took too many days off, or you're just halting your success. That's not very good for you, and a strong woman is not going to put that aside. Again, like I mentioned, if he is supplementing you financially, of course, and helping your career, that's a completely different story. That is a supportive, loving partner, which is what you should 100% be aiming for. But a lot of men these days are simply not doing enough, and fun little trips here and there is just not cutting it anymore. And you have to be very, very cautious of that as a woman, and be very selective with your time and your time around men especially. And perhaps you are with a male that is financially supportive and etc., etc., and you're living with him or just spending a lot of time, you know, around him and his environment. You still have to be advancing your career, even if you're completely taken care of. This is what a lot of females also don't take into account, is they put all of that on the back burner. Again, this is if you are even going towards a serious relationship, or if you are kind of in somewhere where you're not certain. Again, two types of women, right? The woman who is focused on the career, even when she is with an affluent man, will continue to do that, versus a woman who just wants to have fun, just not really do much. She can still be with an affluent man, but she's just laying around watching Netflix, experimenting with makeup, just passing time. And that's a big mistake. That is a big, big mistake, no matter who you're dating and of what financial background, because you always have to be focused on your bigger future. Whether a man is helping and supporting you in that aspect or not, no matter what circumstance you're under, you have to be doing this. And you cannot be the girl that just kind of lays around and sunbathes while your boyfriend or fiance is kind of working or whatever else, right? And he takes you on a few fun trips. That's just not a good trait to have. Laziness is not a good trait to have. You're not advancing yourself mentally. Your brain kind of goes atrophies. It's not good. Ladies, it's just not a good trait to have. You have to have that kind of passion within you, because that's what attracts people. And no matter what partner you're with, that passion is going to show. So no matter what the circumstance, you always have to be working towards something. But again, the point of this video is to really highlight the facts of what mistakes you are potentially doing in a relationship, or even the early dating phases. And that is, again, just kind of taking it more of a compliment rather than something destructive, when you're spending all your time kind of how to say, letting your guard down and thinking that you no longer have to work, which is great if you do have a supportive partner, but that does not mean that you have to stop chasing your passions, or that you should only just accept these trips as the end all be all, or these vacations, because again, how is that benefiting you? The male is benefiting by getting a vacation to spend, to get, you know, physical affection from you, to get a beautiful woman in front of him, just to have that connection. So he is kind of using your nurturing, loving, feminine energy in return for, you know, some fun wherever, and that's fine. But keep in mind, if he is not helping you or really cares too much about your career or how much, or your passions, whatever it may be, then perhaps he is not the man for you, because that really does show a selfish trait. If he only cares, hey, like, you know, put all of your stuff aside, I don't really care what you do, just come with me. And it's unfortunate because I do see this really quite often with some acquaintances I know, some stories I've heard and talked about, and just it's actually quite obvious as well. On social media this comes up a lot because you see what a person used to be doing and then they start dating a new person and their life completely changes, and I wouldn't really necessarily say it's for the best. Even if she is getting luxurious trips and luxurious kind of pieces, that's still not a good life transformation, because if that relationship were to end, what is your backup? Because the male always has a backup. He hasn't changed his plans. He hasn't really sacrificed much. He gave up, perhaps not gave up, but he is willing to expend monetary kind of value on the woman because he has plenty of it. But your time is not, you can't reverse your time. You can't take it back, anything like that. And what you give up, you can't get back. And if you're not focusing on anything in your life, then you might come out of a relationship empty-handed and not advancing yourself. So basically, moral of the story is just really look into your partner's consideration of your goals and your dreams and how he is helping you achieve them. If he actually cares about it, or if he's just shoving it to the side as a back burner and just focusing on himself, because that is quite a red flag. And the second takeaway is, of course, don't ever let your guard down. Don't be the girl that's just sunbathing, which is actually extremely unhealthy and leads to skin cancer, so don't do that at all. But don't be the one just watching Netflix and kind of letting her brain go in atrophy. Work towards your passions, work towards your goal, irregardless of your partner. Anyways, if you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for these types of videos. Join my Facebook community, Into a Milli Lady, down below. We have intimate chats in the group. It's a lot of fun, and I will see you in my next video.